Morning everybody, happy Saturday. Hope all's good. Before I go too much further, could somebody tell me if the sound is actually okay? Wow, loads in the chat, thank you very much, really appreciate the support. But let me just... rest weeks are indeed BAF. The sound okay? Yep, sounds good, alright, I can actually talk now. Firstly, I'm not sure if somebody in the community sent me this wonderful card from Moonpig, but there's nobody, well, there's nothing inside, and there's nothing to give away exactly who it was, because the card comes from Guernsey, and because Moonpig is based in Guernsey, it's in the Channel Islands. I used to lend to Moonpig, so I love Moonpig cards, we send loads of them. But if you did send me this, thank you very much, it's beautiful, love it. Do like a little bit of artistic endeavour. Anyway, thank you. So, FTP test today, the 20-minute test. I'm going to get on with it. I'm nervous. I'm more nervous than a Zwift race or a hill climb event or anything like that, because as much as I tell myself an FTP doesn't matter, we know that it's the bench press of the cycling world. So I do want to do well. So there we go. So thank you all for joining, I really appreciate it. Now normally I'd call everybody out individually, but I'm so nervous that I think I'm going to miss somebody out, so I'm just going to get on with it. Right, so Ed has set me a specific, now I've got to make sure I get this right and don't exit, so this is all fraught with difficulty. So if I go to menu, I think, oh yeah, go to workouts, and because Ed Laverack downloads all of the workouts into Training Peaks automatically syncs up to Zwift. I only just learned that about 2 weeks ago. So, it's not the standard short test on Zwift, which is why I'm on Tempest Fugit, because the short test on Zwift gets rid of all the undulations. So just got a short warm-up, which I'll get into very quickly, then some 30-30s to warm up the legs, and then he's suggesting pacing for the effort, kind of build and ramp the power to a frenzy at the end, which I know is something that Paul Hambler is also a big fan of, and he helped me out greatly on a climb on Box Hill where I just kept burning out too early. So thank you all very much. So without further ado, so FTP currently 290. So aiming for the final 5 minutes. Quite a lot. These 30-second sprints, 3:48. Okay, so they're okay. Right. So now I think if I go to back, surely that will work. Yes. So there we go. Oh, you've got your first crit outdoors, have you, Zach? Nice work. Where are you racing that? That's incredible. This time last year I was starting my outdoor crit. I know it's not your first, but I really enjoyed that. Right, so 9 minutes just to get the legs into a place where they're going to behave, hopefully. There's Jane in the chat now as well, she was asleep. No erg mode, no George. I'll double check that actually. Oh, erg is on, yes. So when erg goes off, yeah. The thing about erg mode on the Watt bike, especially for the 30-second efforts, there's a bit of a delay, a lag in terms of stepping up the power from low power to high power, so it'd render the 30-30s useless. And on the FTP test, best to just go manual, because you're going to fettle the power a little bit. 200 milligrams, so a fulsome serving, 200 milligrams of caffeine. Morning everybody, morning Michael. Sorry, I'm a bit flustered today, because I'm not I'm the archetypal person that doesn't test very well. And I do want to do well. Yeah, the Neo has a lag as well, does it? I think it's inevitable because I think the bike has to go through a mechanical process to change the resistance. Thank you very much for all the good luck wishes, I appreciate that. Yeah, I do sound nervous, Michael. I'll be okay once I get going. I'm more nervous than for a Zwift race or for one of the kind of hill climb events or indeed an outdoor crit. Don't know why. No, I'm sure I'll be fine when I get going. Thank you, Jason. My last test, I just looked at it. It was, I think it was like July 2019. And then Ed did a sneaky little FTP test for me when I first started training with him back in March. And that was just like a 20-minute effort with lots of different power zones. And you got to choose your power for the final 10 minutes. And that's where I got my best ever 20-minute power. But I was weighing a fair bit more. I'm 64 today, 64 kilograms, or 64.2. Well, to my mind, Stefan, the ramp test gives you a lot of anaerobic benefit in your number. Because that final 3 minutes is really what determines the ramp. And so, for that final minute from which all the power is derived, you're typically nicely into zone 6. And really, you're not using a lot of zone 6 if you're riding for an hour. The 6 times 30-30 will just tire the legs a little bit. And even this 20-minute test will still have a little bit of anaerobic effort in it. So, depending on how things go, I may also run quite quickly on the back of this a 1 hour FTP test just to see what the difference is, and everybody can be invited to join and we can have a nice little 1 hour gingangooli to see actually whether our vanity number, the 20-minute number, is the same as the 1 hour number, the one that really counts. Obviously less 5% on the 20-minute number. 300 plus, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I would love to see 300 plus. Obviously, I've ridden 300 watts for 20 minutes or more a few times over the course of August to October. Whether I'll get to 315 to get 300, I think that's a very tall order in all honesty. The pacing is everything. Your aerobic system is cooked up in the ramp. What does that mean? That's interesting. Explain the science. I'm quite intrigued. You live in zone 6, do you, Gus? Well, you are proper powerful. And if anyone's just joining, if anybody did send me this beautiful card from Moonpig, thank you ever so much. There's nothing inside. Really appreciate it. I used to lend to Moonpig for many years at my previous bank. Love the company. Jane and I still send a lot of Moonpig cards. So I love the artistic endeavour. Anyway, I'll put that to the side. No, this isn't the actual FTP test. No, what we've got first is a couple more minutes of this. 6 times 30-30, then we did a test. Sorry, it's a bit boring at the beginning. I did wonder whether or not to just go straight to the test and do the warm-up privately. So I figured in the end, people might like to see how Ed runs an FTP test. Yeah, Alan, I think that's the thing. It depends what your body composition is in terms of fast twitch muscle fibers, that kind of stuff. Sounds like you've got a lot of fast twitch muscle fiber. And so that would mean your top end power is amazing, but your kind of endurance not quite as well, relatively speaking, not as good. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, no, Zach, I won't be talking during the 20 minutes. No, I see what you mean, Michael. These are the 20-minute test, it's target powers. So if I fall a bit above or below, no worries. And if I'm feeling really good, I might do a little bit more than the 295 and 300. Equally, if I'm feeling like I'm going to fall short of the runway, I might just ease off a few watts. All right. Hopefully no nosebleed today. There's the last of my caffeine. And of course the amino acids. So what's my heart rate like? It feels, yeah, heart rate is really high for the effort here. That's nerves. Yeah. So I don't go out too hard. 300 plus, Daniel. I'm going to ramp it gradually, as you see. All right, here comes, I think, 30 seconds at 350. Might even do some of these out the saddle, just to get the hams and the glutes warmed up. Bit too hard there. Yeah, too hard there, silly boy. 95% of my 20-minute, yeah. That's right, Matthew. Really focusing there on making the hamstring, the glutes and the quads work, i.e. feeling the muscle. Oh. Yeah, I'm hoping, well, 300 FTP is aspirational, Daniel, but I'm hoping for more than 290. Hey, but you working today? No, you're not. Furlough. Enjoy your bike ride today, sir. Dear me. I'm finding these hard. Got to get my head in the game. Cheers, Chris. Yeah. Loved your video last night. That was very funny. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, Chris has a very funny apology from his car. Stationary. Well, it depends what kind of race, David. I think maybe a climbing race, but I struggle on the flat ones. I struggle on the climbing ones. Oh dear. That's all fine. So as I say, one of the intentions of the day is see what my FTP is and then compare it with the 1 hour test. And I propose coming to Tempest Fugit Flat at a time to be determined, but over the course of the next 7 days. And anybody's welcome to join, and we'll see who gets the furthest on Tempest Fugit Flat for 1 hour. So we can all gauge what our 1 hour FTP is. And there'll be a prize for who gets the furthest. No TT bike, because not many people own a TT bike in real life. And Zwift is already super nice in terms of power versus speed. Whew. The struggle is indeed the goal. I agree. Right. So that's alright, that's obviously woken up the heart a little bit, got it rising. Now we're locking and loading into the test itself. I need to be disciplined. Yeah, 60-minute indoor FTP test is a really good measure of mental fortitude. You get to about 20 minutes, you think, oh, this is alright. You get to 30 minutes, you think, yeah, this is still okay. And then you go through a very dark period from 30 to 45 where my power fluctuates because I've gone a bit hard at the beginning. And then, you know, with light at the end of the tunnel, the final 15 minutes feels a bit more doable. But definitely, it's an interesting experiment because I get a lot of questions regarding FTP, which is best. I think this 20-minute test is the optimal one, provided I test well, of course. Joking. Definitely, this is the optimal one. It's harder to pace the 1 hour test. That's the real difficulty. But I think the 1 hour test is a nice gold standard. Thank you very much, Lord. Yeah, my best. I'll try for that, as always. Yeah, smash up then too, but what I'm trying to do is even the playing field, David, for everybody in terms of power to weight. And so it's just a measure of pure power, whether you're 4 watts a kilogram in terms of your potential FTP or 3 or whatever. We'll see how far people go on the flat. But definitely for the climbers, that would be perfect. And indeed, that's where I've got some of my best 1 hour power, is on Ventoux or Alpe de Zwift. I haven't been on there for a while. 3:29 for 67.47. Yeah, I saw that PB, that's incredible. Hey Lee, you right? No, they probably wouldn't, but I don't know. I figured let's just give it a go. It's going to be an interesting experiment. Widen the field. All right, 90 seconds to go. All right, time for a little bit of water. I really hope I don't let everybody down here. I might blow in the first 10 minutes. Just trying to settle, get the equilibrium. "19 minutes to go, but really 18, because as Paul Hamblett says, that final minute, we just nail it. Starting to settle now. Cadence is good, aiming for 95 or so. telling myself that was easier than 3 minutes at 400 watts. Mental fortitude needed now. One Swain's lane to go. I forgot how horrid that is. Oh, dear me. Oh, if you like what you just saw, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did, and hit the notification bell. And you can see more suffering. Although it's not really suffering, it's like teetering on the brink of your resources. Very uplifting. Wowee. Well, thank you for all the support in the chat. Just give me 1 second. Oh, dear me. Yeah, so I've got to be honest. Having people encouraging you in the live chat makes a huge difference there. One, you say I'm not going to fail in front of people. Two, it makes you therefore that bit more disciplined in the first 10 minutes. i.e. trying to set yourself up for success, not failure, in the final 10 minutes. So Ed's pacing strategy there was perfect. I was a little bit above his watts because I felt decent, but I was a little bit below in the final 5 minutes because I'd probably made up a bit more elsewhere. I was definitely a bit below in the final 5 minutes. But you can see we built the power from a yellow into an orange, into a kind of deep orange crescendo. And that was the intent. And that's basically something I've also learned from Paul Hamblett. The gradual ramp of power will set you up for success. If you go too hard too early, whether it's on a climb or a test like this, you burn yourself out. But that was properly difficult for me. The danger point is always around about 10 minutes because the brain is telling the heart and the body this is difficult, and yet the brain also sees the heart rate at kind of like 177, I guess it was, or 176, and so the brain also knows there's plenty more room to go in the heart rate if that heart rate's going to play ball today. And that's why the gradual ramp of power is good. It just gets the heart rate rising in a controlled fashion. Right, shall we see what the power was? Dear me, let me just turn off the other fan. Oh, I cannot explain how relieved I am. That was one of the most pressurized things that I've done, including all the live stream races. Because as I say, this is the bench press of the cycling world. Right, so what do? Let me not cock this up. So, what was my 20-minute power? 3:08 it says, so I'm happy with that. I reckon it'll be a bit higher on Training Peaks. I often find that Zwift underestimates, so we'll have a quick look at Training Peaks as well. Oh dear me. So if I go to end ride, yeah, I mean, that's very pretty. That is very Ed Laverack when he's trying to do a max effort ascent up Alpe de Zwift. There we go. Dear me. So 3:0, what was it? 3:0, what was it? Let's go back to the power. Oh, critical power. There we go. Oops. 3:09. Is that or 3:08? I can't remember what they said. Right, so bear with me here. Oh yeah, how do you grab a screenshot? I don't know how to grab a screenshot. I know what I'm going to do. Right. So I'm going to show you my training peaks. I'm going to... Oh, no, I haven't got the training peaks on this computer, so I'm not going to do that. Come on, go to 20. There we go, 20. Yeah, we go, 2006. So it's 309. Whew. So let me have a look at it. 290. Thank you, Alan. 296 or 308. Yeah. Well, it says there 309, but let me have a look at my training peaks data. So, which means, unfortunately, I've got to exit this. That's the timeline. We go to exit. Was it the general report? Okay, I go to exit. Sorry, what a mess I'm making. I should have thought this through. 294. Not quite sure how it's calculated that, but let me look at the training peaks because I do. So I'm happy with it. Firstly, boy, oh boy, I'm relieved that I've got a small increase. So that's good. And the previous FTP. Yeah, so 294. Sorry, okay. Or 293. So I save and exit that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that actually. Dear me. What am I doing? Why does it always exit out of Zwift when we do this? Bear me a second. You're watching a 45-year-old man, 46 on Monday, flounder with tech. Right, so I'll call up. Let's go. So I shouldn't have exited Zwift, should I? Because I've got my training peaks on my devices. Hopefully you can still see me. Right.
Yeah, we can see you.
You can? All right. Sorry, thank you, Jane. Sorry, I am absolutely zonked, so bear with me. So, normal. All right. You'll go through all of the rigmarole. So it says here on training peaks, my 20-minute power. Oh. It hasn't given me my... Oh, it hasn't got my... Oh, here we go. So I was in the warm-up there. Well, this is slick, isn't it? Yeah, 308 watts. So it's confirmed at 308 watts in training peaks. So that's all good. So 293. And I will definitely take that because, as you saw, I had nothing else left in me. So what is 294 versus 65? Oh dear. Oh God. Have I just stopped the chat? Oh dear. Jane? Did I just stop the chat? Oh right, I got a problem in my tech then. I've got a duplicate stream selected. Oh no.
I don't think we need to.
Hang on a sec. All right. Oh, here we go. Everybody's back. Sorry. If you're wondering how it is, I held down a job. Sometimes I do wonder myself. Oh dear. Could I make this any harder? Right. Oh dear me. Do you know what? I did think I'd probably got a little bit better than that, but there we go. I should have maybe gone a tad harder, but I think I'd have blown up. So 4.5 watts a kilogram is behind the comm. So yeah, what was that? 293 divided by 65. Joe, you're normally good at the maths.
293 divided by 65.
That's my weight, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 4.5. Excellent. Right. So, allegedly, I can sustain 293 for an hour. Now, sometimes in a Zwift race, I will get 290 to 295 average power over the hour, especially if it's a climb or something like that. But, and here is the big but, there's little periods where you're completely off the power or you're under the power and you're relaxing, and there's periods where you're way over. And so, the little bits of micro recovery make it, for me personally, because I recover pretty well, because Ed's training has given me good heart rate recovery, it makes it a little easier for me to average something like 280 to 290 watts over an hour when I'm on and off the power. I'm not thinking about hitting a power target. I'm not trying to sustain something. And so I know I'm capable of it, but it's in the confines of being distracted by something else, like a race, that kind of thing. 294, I'll take the 294, thank you, Paul. If people are up for it, I will I'll do a live stream of a 1 hour FTP on Tempest Fugit Flat, so it's a nice even playing field for everybody. And I will try and ride to my 294. Now I'm going to gradually ramp the power, because I know if you go straight out the door at 294 for an hour, that doesn't end well. So I might come out the gate at about 280, that kind of thing. And it's by no means easy. It's by no means easy. So if anybody fancies joining me on Tempest Fugit Flat, potentially next Saturday, for instance, so we have a good scientific comparison of what is the 1 hour FTP versus the 20-minute FTP, please do feel free to join. Plus, for whoever goes the furthest, I will put together a little wine gift for whoever goes the furthest. But you're not allowed to draft, so you've got to go straight through them, that kind of thing. You know, and we'll play Chatham House rules. People will see that I won't draft anybody, and you can't use the TT bike. You can use whatever other bike you want to use, an aero bike or whatever. But that's, or a concept, whatever this thing, the Tron. But I think that would be quite fun. Well, fun in a sort of suffering kind of way. Excellent, thank you. David's up for it. So who else is up for it? Come on, Scott, this is your kind of thing. You are a powerhouse on the flat, sir. I expect behind a com to be there. Okay, everybody use TT bikes is your idea, is it, David? Okay, we can do that. So everybody uses a TT bike, and then that evens up the playing field, I guess, yes. TT doesn't allow the drafting. Love that. Okay, so this is where my Zwift knowledge isn't go. Yes, Ed, so it's going to be Saturday, and we'll aim at 8 a.m. Saturday. And actually, I know you won't do this, Ed, but I'm gonna goad you a little bit. You're mid-race, aren't you? You're mid-race. What are you doing in a live chat, Ed? Your ramp worked very nicely. 293 or 294 FTP. I'll take the 294. But Ed, a 1 hour FTP test for anybody who wants to join. So, 60-minute test needs planning. Yeah, I think it's just eat a lot of carbs the night before, get up, have plenty of coffee and a few more liquid carbs at 8 a.m. in the morning. You wouldn't want to be digesting stuff there. And we'll hit it hard. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be science. It's going to be science, bike racing without mercy style, i.e. bro science. There's nothing really much behind it other than perceived effort and suffering. I'll put it on Training Peaks. Yeah, nice one, Ed. Thank you. The coffee has just kicked in. Yeah, probably has, actually. I timed it a little bit late by accident. 7 a.m. for you, Agnes. Nice one, Agnes. Yes. You're getting strong. You're getting strong. So we shall have a ladies category as well. And the prize is equal, because I know this is a bone of contention. Hattie Connaught, who has the hill climbing YouTube channel, has done a great job of equalising ladies' prize money versus men's prize money, which is as it should be. So yes, there will be a ladies' prize as well of wine too. And Jane will be happy because we'll make up some space in the flat. Oh, Chris, you're a little bit late. I've just finished. Smash it. We kind of did all right. We did all right. It wasn't smash it, but small improvement, 3 or 4 watts in the FTP. And you've got to take 3 or 4 watts from wherever you can get it. So I'm pretty happy with that. So how many have we got? Yeah, so if I set up, okay, I need to figure out how to set up a meetup. That's a very good point, Michael. I can specify the bike. Yeah, okay. I need to figure all of that out because, as you've just seen, I'm not gifted. But yeah, I'll speak to Scott and Ed about how we set up a meetup. You're not going to do it, Agnes. Come on. You've done 160 kilometers recently. That's you've got a definite hour FTP in you, Agnes. But you don't like training early in the morning. So actually, no, I do understand. I'm the same in the evenings. I don't really like getting on the bike in the evening. Whew. Anyway, so thank you all very much. Now Ed is live streaming. I guess there's some kind of horrendous climbing race going on. Let me have a quick look. Where's it gone? Where's my subscriptions? There we go. 141 watching. So get across and see Ed. And I'm even watching the adverts for you here, Ed. Even watching the adverts because I know every penny counts. You're on your FTP. Okay, Dirks. Yeah, nice one. Well, why don't you see if you can hold like 230, 240 for the hour with us? everybody's welcome. I'll try and do this meetup thing. I'll also put it out on my what's it called, YouTube channel. You know, where there's a thumbnail and people can see the time and all that kind of stuff. And I'll specify the meetup thing and all that kind of stuff. It was a Peloton advert, Ed. Yes, it was. That's a high premium one. A chance of winning wine, Alison. Yes, there is definitely a chance of winning wine from our travels. So yes, there is definitely. So if you get on the TT bike, go max effort for the hour, and you are the top lady in terms of distance covered. It's going to be a flat course. You can then DM me with your address, and we'll figure out how to send wine without it breaking in the post, because that's the next challenge at the end of that week. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Nice one, Dirks. Yeah, everybody join. Yeah, and Scott. Yeah, Scott will take a Thatcher's. Actually, Scott, for all you think about Scott, he has got a more sophisticated palate on the wine than me by a long way. Scott does love a quality red, as does Natalie, Queen of Minehead. And of course, there will be a Com Hunt TV tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So check that out. Well, Alison, I'm hoping you won't be the only lady that takes part. But you know, if you do take part and you're the only lady that takes part, that does make you, you know, Queen of the Mountain for the day. And so you're a non-alcoholic. Yeah, I'm more or less non-alcoholic, Agnes, which is why we don't ever buy drink the wine that we buy. So there we go. Cool. Anyway. Yeah, it is most surprising, isn't it, Zach? Scott has a very refined palate. Very refined. For an Aussie, well, a pretend Aussie from, where is it? Minehead. Sorry, my brain has gone completely mad. I am now high on the caffeine. Right, anyway, I'm going to leave everybody be so they can check out Ed's live stream. Phil Rich, I think, is live streaming as well, as is Gus. So do check all of their live streams out. Check out Com Hunt TV tomorrow night, 8 p.m. And also, I forgot to mention, I'm dropping a nice video too tomorrow. What is it? It's the comparison of Zwift up Box Hill versus Box Hill in real life. And so I'm really, I've got to be honest with you, I'm proud of that video. It looks pretty. Paul Hamblett helped me film it, and so he's done some incredible camera work on the bike, because obviously when I'm going max effort, he's kind of at 80% effort, and more to the point, he can then sustain that for about another 7 hours. So we've got some nice kind of on-bike footage, power overlay and all that kind of stuff, and the conclusions are pretty surprising. So do check out my which is quicker, Box Hill on Zwift or Box Hill in real life. Hope you enjoy that one. But in the meantime, thank you all ever so much for your super kind support. Really hugely appreciate it. Very pleased with the 3 or 4 watt increase in the FTP. The bench press is still okay. And, you know, one day I might hit that 300. So maybe I'll test it again once I've recovered from the nerves from this one. But in the meantime, whoever you are and whatever you do, please remember to live, thrive, and stay very healthy. Take care.